Bonjour. Yeah, I'm in the Alps now. I'm following a valley pretty much all the way to Slovenia. I'm gonna be. I don't think it's all the same valley officially. It goes a bit like kind of zigzaggy, but yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning, and it's only going to get better the deeper I go in. I stayed with a really lovely woman called Veronica last night, who lived in the hills above Montreux, and had some really interesting conversations. She was a medieval history academic in France, and I was fed really well, which is amazing. I'm taking it a bit easier today because of the way I've been feeling the last couple of days, to try and ascertain whether it's heat stroke or something else. But I'm only going to do about 40 or 50k today. I'm on my way to a decathlon, which just happens to be in the valley. I assumed, looking at the map, that once I entered the Alps, I wouldn't see much in the way of supermarkets or sports shops, but they're kind of dotted evenly all the way through, so that's great. It means I can go to Lidl every morning to get fresh bread. Okay, onwards.
But when people have access to a car share, they actually use a car much less than they would do normally.
Just went to the decathlon, they were really helpful, and I've now got the right gas for my stove. They found it funny that the decathlon in France gave me such a wrong gas. It was the gas for like a camping van, like plug-in thing. So hot food for the first time hot food that I can make myself for the first time in Europe, which is amazing. So spaghetti tonight with flavours, and I've got a beer, so it's going to be a good night, I think, if I can find somewhere nice to camp.
See, I'm not going to be able to answer this only with respect to electric vehicles, I'm sorry.
I was cycling by and saw like a small waterfall coming out of the rock, so I've hiked into the forest to try and find it. Hopefully I can get a cool shot of it, and I'm hungry, so I'm going to use it as an excuse to eat lunch, hopefully somewhere a bit more quiet, away from the motorway.
They knitted those two things together.
It said Gap across the back.
Oh no.
Very branded.
And you had a Gap. And did you say to your mum, this is not going to work, Mum?
Right, and she's like, you chose that jacket.
You sent you to a French school for a reason.
It is, yeah, she really is like that. She's been chained to a desk for 25 years, and she always had this, she was annoyed that she officially this. I would never want to be that way, so.
Could you have stepped into me?
I found that waterfall, but I forgot about the huge river because I couldn't see it from back there, so I can't actually go up there, but you can just about see it up there. Flash rainstorm. I was told by the woman I stayed with yesterday that these happen a lot, that most of the rain locally you can see starts in the Alps, and then usually she said it doesn't spread out to the cities, but it just means that over the next week and a half I can expect lots of rain while I'm traveling here. So I'm using my big poncho to hover over my cooking equipment to keep it dry, and I'm not doing very well. And it looks like the sun's coming out again, but just not directly over me. So hopefully I can get moving again. I could even camp in this forest. I haven't seen anyone. I've been here for like 2 hours, but it's quite close to a hotel, and there aren't many places in the bush. There aren't many clearings for the tent that are flat. So I think I'll move on today. But yeah, it's only about half five, so I've got 5 more hours of daylight left. So yeah, I'm probably going to move on when it's dry. This bridge doesn't feel stable at all. The wood, I can feel the wood bending under my feet. I don't like this. Fuck. Even soaking wet and tired, every time I look up I'm giggling at like a Japanese schoolgirl. It's just, I use that word too much, but it's absolutely spectacular. The fisheye really doesn't do it justice, but I think it's still a bit too wet. There's more rain clouds for me to get my proper camera out, but even that doesn't really. You just look up at these colossal walls of rock and you can't help but just be absolutely humbled. Any worries you have just fall away because there's a huge fucking mountain in front of you. It's gonna be a good week. The thunder's just rolling in and I'm camping just by the side of the road. If you go over this small bump, there's the road. I'm fairly well hidden. I need to get in my tent soon because it's going to start pouring it down. Only tiny concern is this bank is designed to stop boulders rolling down the cliff and hitting cars, and I'm on the wrong side of that barrier, so I'm sure I'll be fine. All the trees around are still intact, so I think that landslides are a rarity. But yeah, I'm not going to do this often. I much prefer to be in the valley, but when I was looking for a spot, there were a couple of small forests. There was quite a few families who work in the fields, like picking fruit, walking around, and I think some of them live on site, and so it just wasn't it wasn't very private. This place is covered with mosquitoes, so I'm going to get my tent. Alright, see you in the morning. Good morning. Yeah, not a bad night. I got a little bit wet. There was a little bit of leakage, and that's where my head was. But I slept through. Fuck. I woke up at about 5:40, and I think I fell asleep about 11:30, 12. So that's pretty good for camping. But everything's wet in the morning, so I'm trying to wait for the sun to come out and dry that, but I think I might be waiting a while. Seeing as I'm right next to a very foresty mountain, so I think it's going to be another wet pack up, and then things will smell a bit this evening when I put up a tent again. My plan today has changed a bit. Alright, so originally this is the route to Zermatt, which is the village that's right next to the Matterhorn, but the whole journey is about 90k with 1200 meters of walking my bike up the mountain, so I think that's a bit too much to do for one day. But if you look to the left, there's another mountain pass, not mountain pass, there's another mountain road that goes up not as much of a distance to the Weisshorn, I don't know, white horn. And from the look of it on Google Maps, it's going to be far more secluded up there, so I can camp without worrying as much, really. And if I got the mountain road today and it's harrowing and way too much, then I'll just skip out tomorrow, because when you look at 1500 meters of walking a bike up a mountain, it's just a kind of arbitrary number. It doesn't really, I don't know what it's like to walk up one of those, so yeah, we're gonna see today. I'm just gonna pack up the wet stuff and then I'm gonna get off. Oh, there are bugs in absolutely everything. That is fucked. They're everywhere. In all of my stuff there's like 100 woodlice. Yeah. Alright, see you in a bit.
I don't wanna fight with you.
Yeah, fresh mountain water direct from God's vagina.
Hold me tight. Could you hold me tight? Could you hold me tight? And don't turn on the lights. I don't wanna fight with you.
Oh, there's so much more to go. Oh my god. That's the elevation. And I've only done less than a quarter of it. That's fucking mad. There's a tunnel, which is really shit. It was normally fine before, with the well-developed tunnels with a path on the side, but this is just a very thin 2-lane tunnel with no lighting. The road's quite quiet, but I need to do it as fast as possible. So I'm going to take a small rest before and then turn all my lights on and try and smash it. That can't have been it, that was only like 10 meters. I wonder where the proper tunnel is. It said 150 meters to a tunnel somewhere. Anyway, that's done for now. The worst of it's over. A bit more uphill and then a downhill and then back up for the last bit. I've been walking for 98% of it, and I started, I don't know if this picks up on the camera, I can't even see what's on the screen because it's so bright, but those tiny houses in that valley is where I started this morning, and My calves feel really worked out though. Normally when you're cycling, oh, excuse me, it's all I'm very sorry. Normally it's all the thighs, but my lower legs are big. I need a nap or something. Alright, in a bit. Good evening. I've just got to Vache, I think, I forgot the name. Yeah, it's kind of just like a ski village. I really thought today was meant to be an easy day. It was only 54k. I was planning to do today like a smaller mountain pass, have a nice secluded somewhere to camp. I've kind of got that, it's still a little bit busy. And then I was going to go up to the Matterhorn tomorrow, which was a 90k day. But yeah, my Google cycle map said that today was going to take 4 hours to get up here, and I think the day was about 12 hours. 90% of it was hike a bike, and I did about 54k, which is probably the equivalent of walking a marathon over mountains. But it's been really fun. It wasn't as bad as a marathon. I think if you walk it's more manageable, far more. But yeah, the views have just been absolutely spectacular. I'm seeing way more than I would on proper roads. It's mostly been kind of like some roads, walking paths that I'm having to like vault the bike over, a kind of small mixture, and then kind of like farm paths. I can't see myself going to see the Matterhorn tomorrow. I'm going to descend and see how I feel. I'll either wait a day and go up the next day, or I'll just skip it out altogether. From what I know about it, Zermatt, the village next to the Matterhorn, is 10 times more touristy and developed than the village here, because it's one of the most popular mountain destinations in Europe, probably the second most after Mont Blanc, which is why I picked this one. This was meant to be a kind of small practice one and then Matterhorn tomorrow, but yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like the set of Lord of the Rings or something. Still seeing a few runners and stuff, but I think I'm a bit safer than I would have been because the bridge was out of action and I walked across it. I had to take my bags off, so that's blocked access from the road, because there are still people driving up and down. just in case, like worst case scenario, because I know that these ski villages, chalets are far more, there's far more security with wild campers than anywhere else if I was in a forest or something, because people don't really care about that. But yeah, I've still got some space to walk up so I can find a camping spot. Yeah, that's me for tonight. I just need to wait a couple of hours, set up the tent and then be off quickly in the morning so I don't get caught. Really feeling it in my legs because there's so much walking. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bit of a problem here. The screw is sheared off and the cable ties that were holding it on can't do the job anymore. Fuck. I think the best thing to do is to buy a back rack and mount them on the back. But I'm quite a way away from a decathlon, I think, and I need to come up with a solution until I can get to one. For now, the only solution I can think of is more cable ties. It should hold for a little bit, hopefully. And another spark's gone. Nice. Fuck. So another spark's gone. Probably in the worst country in the world to have bike problems because of the price, because of service fees for work. If I get my bike in somewhere. Don't really know what to do. On the bright side, a man gave me an apricot. I've got to fucking walk my bike down a mountain to get to Lidl, so I can at least have some food, some nice food for this evening. And I'll try and camp on one of these farms, I think. And now a thunderstorm. Yeah. I just have to keep telling myself that by tomorrow lunchtime all of my bike problems should be fixed. If I'm lucky. Yeah. Yeah, it's easy, just sleep behind the road where I did last time, decathlon, buy a pannier rack, barter and hope they can fix my front wheel with the spokes I already have, and then I continue. I'm looking for somewhere to camp. Every time I almost find a spot, someone comes by. Not that I have to be completely hidden, but I have to walk with the bike because it's broken, and so I can't really be bothered to walk up a mountain again. So yeah, just somewhere along the river, but ideally I want to slip in and set up without being seen by anyone. We'll see. Top tip, if you're wild camping, especially if you're somewhere fairly public like a park or by a canal, I recommend in the morning playing some friendly music, maybe like the Beatles or Bob Marley or something. Because if someone does get angry and they're shouting at you soundtrack to Three Little Birds, they're going to feel quite silly, I think. But yeah, I had to do a bit of that this morning. Generally what happens is people will go out running or walking their dogs, they'll see your tent and then they'll be too scared to pass, and they'll have to kind of awkwardly turn around, and then they'll get angry that you've disturbed their run, even though it doesn't matter if people walk past while I'm packing up, but that's the way it is. I haven't got a watch on. Yeah, like 5 more minutes and then I can try and get this bike sorted.
Maybe even the frame and essentially the whole wheel.
Tried to make it level to the ground, and it kind of is, but then I forgot that the front wheel's off, so I need to redo it.